Hello everyone. I know I've been gone for a while, haven't been posting remixes lately. Life has been crazy. Kind of waiting for, things to die down so I can get some inspiration again. But in the meantime, I kind of thought, might be kind of fun to sit down and do this little thing. This is going to be a tier list video. I know these are silly and kind of not as trendy as they used to be, but they can still be fun. So I'm going to be doing a quick one here, ranking every Pokemon related remix that I have posted to this channel to date, which has been the past, I don't know, maybe 3 years or so. I've been doing a lot of Pokemon content here, so lots to get through. So let's go ahead and just dive in. I'll touch on each one of these briefly and then place it in one of these 5 categories, ranging from the most divinely inspired stuff that I'm very proud of all the way down to a bunch of old junk that's still on my channel that I'd really rather you don't listen to, but I'm still going to leave it up there just for posterity. Okay, so let's get started here. First off, we've got my Accumulatown Synthwave remix from Black and White. This was a really fun one to work on. I had a ton of fun going for that kind of retro 80s music aesthetic. Mixed in some references to a couple other tunes in there. Lonely Rolling Star from Katamari Damacy, and I think there are a couple other ones in there. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm pretty proud of this one, so I'm putting that right there solidly in the I'm proud of this tier. Starting off with some bangers here. These next two are the two Aspertia City remixes from Pokemon Black and White 2 that I did with Snivies last year. Both really, really incredible mixes. Snivies really brought these to life with some solos and just little touches that are incredible. Go check out his channel if you have not already. He does phenomenal remixes. Lots of Pokemon stuff. So these are both going in divine inspiration. I swear, Snivies is, he's an S-tier remixer, and he really brought those to life. This fall remix one of Aspertia City, definitely my favorite remix I've ever been a part of thus far, and that's all thanks to him and the incredible work he did on that track. And then this Christmassy, wintry Aspertia one is also one of my favorites. So those are both going solidly in the divine inspiration tier. That's great stuff. Next up, we have my Azalea Town Lo-Fi remix from Gold and Silver. This one is a pretty solid middle tier, I'd say. This isn't one of my favorite remixes I've ever done, but it's not like nothing terrible. So that would be probably right around here, maybe up in I'm proud of this. I might move that up. It might be near the end of this tier. We'll see how things shake out as we go through the rest of these. Next one is the Beauty Encounter theme from Gold and Silver as well. I think this is, at the moment, the most recent Pokemon remix I've done on this channel. This one I'm pretty proud of. Maybe not quite as much as Accumulatown, but I'll put that at the next slot there. I did some fun things with this one. Took the Beauty Encounter theme from Gold and Silver, which is about maybe 15 seconds long, and kind of spun it out into a full 2-minute or so remix there, which was a challenge, but it was really fun to do. I had a lot of fun working on that one. And I love the lo-fi vibes. Some trumpet sampled in there, which was fun. So I'm pretty proud of that one. Next, we're taking a trip to the past here. One of the first remixes I ever uploaded on this channel. Buried Relic from the first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Great tune. Actually, one of my favorite video game tunes of all time. I've been meaning to go back and take another stab at this, because this one, I'm just going to be honest, is a terrible remix. I mean, I think it's a really good idea, what I came at this tune with, but I didn't have the knowledge or the skills or the know-how yet to make that come out without it just sounding super stale and static and boring and awful. So would not recommend that one, but there it is. Okay, next we've got my Cherry Grove City Lo-Fi remix, more Johto Lo-Fi in here. Johto-Fi, as I like to call it. EP coming soon, keep your eyes out for that. This one is probably one of my favorite Johto Lo-Fi ones, so I'm putting this up in I'm proud of this, just ahead of the Beauty Encounter theme. That's one I also started working on well over a year ago, but I really like the way it turned out. All right, next up we've got my Cyanwood City arrangement from Gold and Silver, and this one has a special place in my heart because this is the first video game remix or arrangement or whatever that I ever made in my life. So it definitely has a special place in my heart. Similarly to the Buried Relic one, I didn't know what I was doing. It was the first thing I ever did on Logic, so it's just really rough around the edges. But I'm going to put it in passable, I guess, just because I can't bring myself to put it at bottom tier because it does mean a lot to me. And Cyanwood City or Ecruteak City, same theme from Gold and Silver, is my favorite video game tune of all time. It's probably in my top 10 pieces of music I've ever heard in my life. So it really means a lot to me, and one day I'm gonna go back and remix it again. I just need to figure out a way to do it justice and make it a lot better. All right, next up we've got Fortree City, lo-fi remix from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. This one, I don't really have a ton to say about this. I like it. I don't super love it compared to some of my other stuff, but I'll put that in straight in the mid tier, and we're getting somewhere. Next we've got Frost Cave from Pokemon X and Y, a little wintry chill remix that I did with fellow remixer Caleb P. I'll put a link to his channel in the description as well, along with Snivy's and a couple other collaborators that'll come up a little bit farther down the line. But this one is very good. I don't think I did quite as good of work on this as I did with Snivy's in these top tiers. Still one of my favorite remixes, so I'm gonna put this at the top of I'm proud of this for now. I might move that up to top tier at some point, but again, we'll see how things shake out and if I want to arrange anything a little bit more. Next, we've got the Pokemon Gen 1 route medley. So I took all 4 of the route themes from Pokemon Red and Blue and combined them together, chopped them together as a medley here. And this one was fun. This is another really fun one. I think it's a little bit rough around the edges, at least in terms of my more recent works, but it's not bad. So I'm gonna put that in mid tier as well, probably just ahead of Fortree City. Next one we've got is the cycling theme, aka the Goldenrod City theme from Pokemon Gold and Silver, a bit of a lo-fi remix here. This one is a fun one. I really like this one. It may not be the highest quality remix I've ever done, but I personally really like it. I took the tune from the game, which is in 4/4, and translated it to a 7/8 time signature, which is pretty wonky and unusual, but it was one of those ideas that just popped into my head out of nowhere one day, and I had a lot of fun changing around the melody a little bit to fit it into 7/8. There's a little reference to the Red and Blue cycling theme in there as well, so I'm putting this solidly up on I'm proud of this, probably just ahead of Cherry Grove by a hair. Okay, next we've got Dark Cave, another lo-fi from Johto, and this is maybe my favorite. I think I just said this about Cherry Grove too, and now I'm putting 2 ahead of it. But this is probably my favorite. No, it's not. I don't know what I'm saying. I love all of the Johto lo-fi remixes I've made. I'll just say it. I'll admit it. I love them all because I love that soundtrack just too much. But the thing I love about this one is that I kind of actually made a story to go along with the remix about exploring the caves in Johto and finding the mysterious Lapras hidden deep inside the cave that appears on Fridays. I always thought that was a really cool feature in Gold and Silver, so I kind of built a little story around that in the arrangement, which was a lot of fun to do. So I'm putting that top tier. That's a little bit of divine inspiration for me, I would say. Next up, we've got Route 42 from Gold and Silver. This is one of my older remixes as well, and I don't think it's held up super duper well. It's not the worst thing on my channel, but it's not great, so I will put it in passable, I guess. Okay, we've got next the Surf theme from Gold and Silver as well. This one, again, I don't have a ton to say about it. I like it. This will go at the end of I'm proud of this. That's a good remix, I think. It's a fine remix. Next, we've got the Illumina Milotic Encounter theme from New Pokemon Snap, a game that I was so hyped for at reveal, and I really loved it. I had a phenomenal time playing that game earlier this year. And it had a great soundtrack, a very interesting soundtrack, different than what we've heard in a lot of Pokemon games previously, a lot of atmospheric sounds and really beautiful textures on that soundtrack. So I took a stab at doing a sort of a lo-fi jazz remix with this one. I really like it. I'm putting this at near the top of the I'm proud of this tier, just behind my collab with Caleb there. Next, we've got New Bark Town, more Johto Fi. This one is also one of the first remixes I did on the channel a couple years ago, and this one's good, mid-tier again. I'm putting that one right up there. And we're getting somewhere. Not bad, not my favorite. Next, we've got the new Pokemon Snap reveal trailer remix. So as I said, when this game was revealed in that Pokemon presentation back in summer of 2020, I believe it was, I was so hyped. I could not believe that we were getting a Pokemon Snap game after all these years and years and years. And so I was just, it was all I could think about. I was off of school from the summer and just kind of hanging out, and I had some spare time to myself. So sat down and transcribed the theme that played in that reveal trailer and decided to do a little remix of it. I rushed it out a little bit just because I was so excited about it, but I think it didn't turn out too terribly, so I'm going to put it at the top of passable because it's not terrible, but it's not great. if I'm being honest. Next, we've got the personality quiz tune from the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. This was a lo-fi remix collab that I did with Short Fatty on the production here. He provided me a bunch of stems. He did a bunch of the beat, a couple other pieces of the remix as well, I don't remember, and then I did most of the melodic stuff over the top. So that was really, really fun. He did a great job on perfecting those sounds, the drum samples and things like that. So I'm putting that all the way up here, just after my stuff with Snivies as well. I'll leave a link to that channel in the description. All right, next we've got the Valley theme from the original Pokemon Snap. I had fun working on this one, but it's passable. That's all I'll give it. Another Pokemon Snap original. This is the album theme from that N64 game. And this is the first remix I ever made where I really felt like, whoa, I just made something pretty cool, actually. It took the theme in an entirely different direction than the original tune did, which I had fun doing. I recorded some live guitar on this track, which is something that I almost never do because I'm really not very good at playing any instrument, so I don't usually live record. But I did on this one, and I think it turned out pretty darn well. So I'm actually gonna put that one all the way up in the Divine Inspiration tier as well. That's one that I had so much fun doing. All right, next we've got the Rival Battle theme from the Pokemon trading card game, Game Boy game from way back in the day. Game that I actually loved playing when I was a kid. I loved Pokemon cards when I was a kid, but I didn't have any friends who knew how to play the actual game, so I played the Game Boy game a lot to like get my fix in for playing the trading card game. This is a really fun tune from the game. I tried to remix it in this sort of like electric rock kind of style, and it's not great. It's not balanced well or anything. It's one of my oldest remixes again, so I'm putting that at the very bottom tier. I would not recommend that one, but I had enough fun making it way back in the day. It helped me learn some stuff, so it's not completely unredeemable. Next, we've got the surf theme from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, another lo-fi remix I did for one of Almighty Arceus's mega mixes a couple years ago. And this one is another kind of mid-tier. I'll probably put that in, we're getting somewhere, but I do think it's pretty good, so I'll probably throw this at the top of that tier. Next up, we're going back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon again. We've actually got the next two in a row here are remixes of the same tune, Runaway Fugitives from the game. A very emotional, beautiful composition from those games. Maybe my second favorite video game tune of all time after Cyanwood City, as I mentioned earlier. And you can probably tell by the fact that I've remixed it twice in the past like 2 years. Very different remixes too, which is why I've done it twice. This first one here is a very upbeat sort of house type beat remix, and this one I had a lot of fun doing. It's one of those ones that came together really quickly, and I felt pretty good about it. So I'm putting that up in I'm proud of this, maybe at the end. And then this one is a sort of acoustic-y, lo-fi feeling remix. It has some orchestral elements in it as well. And this is another one of those remixes that I managed to get a little bit of a story into. I referenced several other tunes from that first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game within the remix. And I also got some quotes that have been inspirational to me in my life from the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games in there. And it's very heartfelt. The remix meant a lot to me. It's the first project I did after quarantine began in early 2020. So it was a tumultuous time in the world and in life. So this remix means a lot to me. This is my favorite remix that I've ever done by myself, not counting some of these collaborations I've done with other talented artists. So I'm putting that at the very top, just because it's the most proud I've ever been of my own work, just from a creative process standpoint. Okay, next one we've got the Bossa Nova remix of the Rustboro City theme from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. I love Bossa Nova music. It's so chill. It's such a vibe. I know some people kind of make jokes about it just being elevator music and stuff like that, but I really think it's a beautiful genre of music, and how it represents its roots in like Brazilian culture and stuff like that is really fascinating. I would recommend go listen to some Bossa Nova, look into the history of it. It's very interesting how it came to be in the United States and be a popular genre back in the 20th century, but that is neither here nor there. We're talking Pokemon right now, so we don't have to get that deep. This one is going pretty high in the I'm proud of this tier, because I think this one turned out very well, and it sounds very nice and very smooth. I'll put it third after the Aluminum Milotic Encounter theme. Next up, we've got the Sailing theme from Ruby and Sapphire. One of the more upbeat and fun remixes I've done. I don't think it's the best thing, but it's not terrible, so I'm probably going passable on that one. It does the job well enough, I suppose. Next one here is here's, you want to talk about a deep cut. I've been known in the past in some circles for my deep cuts when it comes to my remixes, which is something I'm very proud of. You want to talk about a deep cut, though? Here's a deep cut. This is the Lick-a-Tongue minigame theme from the first Pokemon Stadium game on the Nintendo 64. I whipped this one up for another Mega Mix for Halloween 2020, I think it was. And it's just one of those remixes that kind of makes you laugh. It's passable. I don't think it's my best work, but you know, it's good for a laugh. It's a little bit meme worthy, so I'll throw that in there. Okay, these next three here are actually a fun project I did last year where I took the 3 gym themes from the Pokemon trading card game. Again, we're going back to the TCG. In that game, the 8 gyms all share 3 themes across the 8 gyms. One for fire, one for grass, and one for water. So I took those 3 themes and tried to remix them in a genre that I thought reflected the essence of that type. So like the fire one is this really upbeat, almost sort of like drum and bass style thing. The green one is pretty happy, jazzy, upbeat kind of vibe. And then the water one is very calm, very soothing, like piano and woodwinds kind of sounds to it. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I think the fire one turned out the best personally. I would put this in the proud tier. The water was also good. We're getting a lot in this second tier. I think I'll put that one here, and then the grass one sadly did not turn out quite as well as the other two. I'd probably put that in the bottom tier. Not a high recommendation by me. On that note, we've got the Young Photographer theme from Pokemon Snap. That's going in the bottom tier as well. Another one that I think was a decent idea for a remix, but the execution was not quite there. Next, we've got the Viridian Forest theme. These next 2 in a row, actually. Here's another theme I've done twice, is the Viridian Forest theme. Specifically the one from Gold and Silver here I did as a lo-fi remix. And this is a remix that I had a ton of fun doing for these Johto lo-fi tunes. I'm putting that one right in between. We've got 5 in a row here that are all from Johto and lo-fi, so that's fun. That shows that I did a okay job at least with those remixes, so that's good. Next, we've got this sort of trap style remix of the Viridian Forest themes. This one actually combines both of them, the one from Red and Blue as well as the Redux from Gold and Silver. I love this track, honestly. This is another one that I had so much fun doing, and it turned out to be a banger, honestly. It kind of slaps. So I'm putting that one right near the top of I'm proud of this, just after that Frost Cave with Caleb. All right, the last 2 here, I'm actually going to go out of order, get this one first. This is the Team Rocket battle theme from Gold and Silver that I did for another Mega Mix last year. I don't really have much to say about this one. It's kind of a middling remix for me, so I'm putting it right in the middle. And then last but certainly not least, we have my super duper ultra ultimate mega collab that I did, a remix of Iris's Champion theme from Pokemon Black and White 2, the song that plays when you battle her as the champion. And I did this remix as a collaboration with Caleb P, again, same guy I did Frost Cave with, as well as 2 other awesome remixers out there, Zariel Music and iRead Music. And the 4 of us really worked on this tune for kind of on and off for months. Kind of intended it to be a celebration of all 4 of us hitting 100 subscribers around the same time, but it took us longer than expected to get it out. So it didn't really work out for that, but it was a great time bouncing ideas off those 3 guys. So that's going all the way up in Divine Inspiration, probably just after these 2 near the end there. So there you go. I could shift some of these around a little bit, but why even bother, honestly? I'll just leave them as is. This was kind of fun for me to just kind of reflect a little bit on some of the remixes that I've done over the past 2 or 3 years. Looking at this, I realized that there are several on here that I haven't listened to since I posted them like a year or plus ago. So it's kind of fun to remember what that process was like, working through each one of these, what the creative process was like for me. So thank you for watching if you made it this far. If you have any thoughts, let me know what your favorite Pokemon remix of mine is in the comments. If you want to make a tier list out of this, I can't imagine that anyone probably would, but if maybe you do, I'll put the link to this tier maker in the description. I'll also put a link to a playlist that has all of my Pokemon remixes all in one place, so you can listen to them all to your heart's content. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to y'all soon. Embrace the night, people. Have a good one.